Welcome to the Ripple Effect of Love for Dads and Families, episode 44. What flexibility reveals about you. We've been talking about flexibility, and it's not always easy. It's sometimes we're set in our own ways and we can't see past the end of our nose, if you will. And it's not always easy because there's so many factors, especially for dads and families who are doing their best to just leave a legacy of love. So I'm Christine Bernard, stress management coach. And I'm just going to start by mentioning a few signs of what it looks like if you might want to, yeah, if you might want to add some flexibility, or if you haven't been adding flexibility, yeah, if you haven't been adding flexibility into your family, you might be having some chronic stress and anxiety, constantly feeling on the edge, worried about not being present enough for your kids, or maybe you're feeling the pressure of performance. That can happen. Sometimes it's also about guilt and shame, unfortunately, feeling like not a good enough dad, right? Because we miss out on moments. And having been a workaholic, yes, I missed out on many good moments, but I was able to also create some. There's experiencing guilt for prioritizing work and wanting more time at home. So I want you, as I list these, to pick one, and we're going to release some of that resistance, whichever one hits home for you today. Struggling with a cultural expectation. Dad is the provider, and dad has to bring in the dough, and that has many different effects on all of us and can bring a lot of stress if things aren't going the way you want, or if you are being asked to work many hours, countless hours. There's the emotional detachment. Sometimes there's this emotional shutdown that can happen, or you may feel disconnected from your kids and from your loved one because you're not physically present. You're busy doing this and that, which is also very important. So just keep breathing. And if you need to self regulate as I talk about any of these points, please do so. You know the routine. If you're new, snap, breathe in, tap, relax the shoulders, and zap that out onto the spiraling train. Maybe some family members or your kids have stopped expressing their feelings, and or you feel the responsibility of being the strong, stable one in the family, and then there's no room for you to express your feelings, right? Might be some irritability, I can say that word, or some short temper. When we feel overwhelmed, we might, and we bring in all the stress from work. We might be snapping at our kids or our partner over small things. And maybe behind that, there's something else. Maybe we're struggling with patience because we're mentally exhausted when we get home, or we have an increased frustration when they tell you you're not there supporting them. What are you doing? You're going out, you're doing the work. So if I triggered with you with any of these, just keep self-regulating. I'm not saying this to accuse anybody. I'm saying this to become aware of what's going on inside of you so that you can pick one tiny little piece and see how you can bring more flexibility. Maybe you're feeling depressed and a sense of emptiness. You're losing motivation or joy in things that you used to enjoy. Maybe you have a deep sense of in isolation. You're feeling isolated, even though there's people in the house, and but you just feel alone, stuck with your struggles. Or maybe you're feeling a bit trapped in a routine that doesn't allow space for your well being or what it is that you want to do or how you want to be. Something, the challenges of raising children has brought you down a rabbit hole and you kind of feel stuck in there. So, this is another snap. Let's breathe in, tap. Maybe there's sleep issues or physical symptoms, right? You can't sleep, you wake up in the middle of the night, or you wake up many times, can't fall back asleep. Um, Loved one is turning and rotating in the bed and you can't sleep. And you might have some physical symptoms like headaches, fatigue, maybe even some muscle tension or digestive issues or chronic stress issues. Also, taking a deep breath, you might look for unhealthy coping mechanisms. We talked about addiction, many different kinds of addiction, whether they be to caffeine, alcohol, sex addiction, work addiction, anything, any excuse. Oh, work called. I gotta go, because being in the environment where you're in right now is not feeling safe and amazing for you in this moment. And oh, maybe you feel a sense of loss of identity and self worth, you know, um, feeling like your personal dreams and goals have been put on hold indefinitely. That doesn't feel very good, does it? How do we bring flexibility into that? Maybe you're questioning your purpose beyond work and family. Like, what is my purpose? I've been there. Now I know it's creating a ripple effect of love for dads and families. And that's so important for me. And wondering, who am I outside of being a provider and a dad? Because is work your identity, right? So there are so many solutions. My favorite solution, of course, those of you who have been following me, is the snap, tap, relax, and zap. And I know I triggered some of you while I was reading this and said this, and it's okay. Know that it's okay. Know that you are lovable. I know that you are doing your best because were you taught this when you were a little kid? I wasn't. Who taught us to self regulate? Very few adults today were taught this because it was not talked about. And Snap Tap Zap was created in 2021. So let's just give yourself lots of credit and be able. So finding a way, like I said, let's talk about one thing that you want to really be able to zone in out of all the ones that I did. You can share that in the chat and let's see how we can support you so that you feel some support here right now because we all need to feel support, do we not? I know I do when I'm going through things that are challenging and finding people. And I'm hoping that you being here is supporting you um, to find some solutions. So, it's not about saying, oh, this happened to me, this didn't happen to me, but it's about how can I grow? Okay, so I've identified one thing that I find for me is really a challenge right now in my life. So, on I want you to reflect on what moments of flexibility have taught you taught you about yourself, your strengths, and your values as a dad? So I skipped a part here, obviously. And let's just snap. Take the one that you had, relax, and send that onto the spiraling train. And if it's a thought that's really like nagging at you and saying, that's impossible, Christine, can't do that, or you feel that resistance, I highly recommend going around the ears like a C shape with your fingertips close to the ears, taking a deep breath in and putting that onto the hot air balloon. And if you are starting to feel the tension within you, the frustration, all those emotions I mentioned just a few minutes ago, excellent. If you feel this is too much and you've numbed out how you feel and you would love some support, you can connect with me and book a 20 second, yeah, that'll be real fast, a 20-minute discovery call. And we'll see if we're a good fit, if I can support you on your journey. Taking a deep breath, relaxing the shoulders, and letting that go onto the hot air balloon. You can continue tapping. If you're at work or your child is talking to you, please feel safe doing this. If you don't, remember there's the fingertip trick that you can do on the under the table when you have some. Oh, I have someone joining me. So, yay, Christian is here today. He's able to make it away from his busy lifestyle as a dad of four and a solarpreneur. It's very busy, right, Christian? Oh, somehow we can't hear you right now. Can you see what? There we go. Yeah, we can hear.
Very blessed. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, yeah. The here adjustment as you've taught me.
Okay.
I'm now choosing
Yes.
to be present
Yes.
in my day to day.
Beautiful.
I I am choosing to and it's a blessing. Is a
Yes.
we're really busy, really blessed. And again, this is just my shift. Very
Yes.
blessed in numerous ways that I'm continuing to be used to uplift, support people.
Beautiful, and to help you with that shift, I think that's just
Woo!
amazing, and it's beautiful. What's your number one trick tip that you have for these
uh,
beautiful dads who are listening and are saying, "Hey, how is Christian accomplishing this today?"
the ABCs, that's one thing that I may sound like a weirdo, seem like a weirdo, and present this like a weirdo, but it's not on me. The perception of folks, that's
Mhm.
going to be that's never going to be, and that's okay.
Yeah.
So how I'm choosing to lead is by my ABCs, which is the self-regulation,
Yeah.
self-regulation, self-mastery, self-regulation, breathing. I'm choosing to work
Mm.
on my emotional is it in IQ. Well, I
Yes,
want to focus on
intelligence, your
my
EQ, your
EQ.
emotional intelligence. Oh, I
Yes,
love
yes,
it, love
yes,
it,
yes,
love
yes,
it,
yes,
love it.
yes.
It's amazing
Be-
to see your progress, Christian. It's just amazing. And when you talk about the ABCs, okay, it's not the alphabet. It's
no, no,
ABCs. What?
it is.
Because you say this often. You say,
I
"Oh, it's
say
the
I say
ABCs."
that
And I'm like,
it's the
"Okay."
ABCs. It's the ABCs But I really want to, and I want to challenge myself. I love languages. I know
Yes.
un, deux, trois,
Yeah.
uno, dos, tres, one, two, three. In Samoan, also, I oof. I'm gonna have to go back
Mhm.
Kasi Lua. Yeah, we're gonna definitely have to go back to my one, two, threes. But what I love numbers is because, and this was taught to me long ago. I pitch in here the idea
Yeah. Yeah, for
because
sure.
numbers are the same in every language. So
Mhm.
numbers are the same in every, which I again, I love languages and love accents and anyways. So I'd say one, two, three, but for this example, we said the ABCs. But I really wanted to share that because it's universal. So it,
Mhm.
it doesn't have to be the ABCs. It's the one, two, three building blocks of the one, two, three building blocks of what I need or what I needed to,
Mhm.
and what I didn't understand before. So
Mm.
there's an opportunity of me to go back to the building blocks of how I think, how
Yes.
I feel,
Yes.
how I interpret things,
Yes.
because we know that
Yes.
things are going to happen in the world.
Yes.
Now, will it be a positive or will it be a negative? As
Mm.
we shared yesterday, we'll see.
Yeah,
But
we'll see.
now I understand that it truly
Mhm.
just it has nothing to do with what is going on outside, because I am choosing to live my reality.
Yeah.
And for those folks, and I know the logicals are already, because my brain would think, hey, wait a minute, you can't ignore stocks, you can't ignore business, you can't ignore trends, and then the family, and you can't, and you used to this, and your mom this, and you so I get it, and I see it.
Mhm.
And so what has helped is this magical, and I know you do the snap, but I really I bring me and energy, and I bring calm and shift, and I bring tap and self regulation, and I bring time for me, and I make that the forefront of anything and everything that I am choosing to deal with today. Now,
Mm.
there are things I cannot, and they're out of my control,
Mm.
and that's okay. There are things from other people's actions
Yeah.
that I will not change, and that's not for me too.
Yeah, our job is not to change people in the world. Our job is to focus on us and being the best version of ourselves. So focus on changing myself. And as I changed myself, it changed my relationship with my children, with my parents. But I was the one who made the changes. Was it worth it? Was it hard? Yes.
Oh, yes.
Was it hard? Yes. But was it worth it? A million times
Yes.
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 Because we are, whoops, we just lost him. We are the most important person in our life, and we need to take care of ourselves so that we can just shift. And it's these mini little shifts. If you go for big ones, it will feel overwhelming. I've tried it. Okay, yes,
That's
somebody
it.
wants
That's
to
it
say,
right
go for
there.
it. Yeah,
That's it right there. That's
yeah,
it right there. It's Yes, focus on the end goal. I get it.
yes, yes, yes,
Again, we get it. You went into school because you're going to graduate. Then you went into college because you wanted your master's. We get that.
yes.
There's 365 opportunity, or however you want to call them. See, you were just saying that we want to convince people. We want people to more understand what I'm saying or what I'm doing by convincing you to see things in my perspective. As a high performer and me result oriented, I smash goals and requirements, shattered glass with my performance and everything that I've done. So
Mhm.
I now that I can shift, I say,
Yes.
wait, so I can do the same with myself
Yes.
and all of these things that the world or the other outside influences have
Mhm.
poured in.
Yes.
I make the decision to say maybe a coin go into my deposit. No, I put the coin. Maybe you can flip the coin over and put it down and let somebody else pick that coin up because
Mm.
that is not for me. Now, as a high performer and
Mhm.
be parent and man and expectations,
Yes.
I am here to say that being better equipped and being better centered
Yes.
with and for myself allows me to not feel like, and here it is, people are demanding things from me that am I going to be able to, or I got to do this task, or where am I in schedule, or what? No, 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 no. I am delighted and filled beyond the brim because that sun keeps pouring in now. That golden sun keeps pouring in and it keeps over pouring out now because I am allowing myself to take back the control, allowing myself to be forgiven for the mistakes, to understand that the directions that I was going in may have uh, adjusted my path, but my end goal has nothing, well, it has a lot to do with what I'm doing, but it's okay if I teeter totter
Yes.
as I am becoming more aware
Yes.
of each step that I'm taking,
Yes.
being mindful, and I'm doing it. Here's the kicker. Here's the kicker.
Okay.
Because I can feel my heart, and
Yes.
I'm doing it with guidance of kindness, of love,
Yes.
and that love, which a lot of us men, you got to show tough love.
Mhm.
You can look at the definition of love. Love is brave, love is courageous, and there's so many other things. But you can see and decide on a piece of paper what does love mean to you and
Yes.
understand that your love may not equate or be the same definition as your partners, as your kids, as what it is. And guess what? It's not for us to convince them, but to make sure that, hey, how I feel love now, and in that list, this no longer serves me. This is no longer what makes me feel good. Maybe I was taught love that way,
Yeah.
like being overprotective. And so
Mhm.
now I can say, hey, I'm protective. I am lovingly protective, and I am lovingly forgive myself for the overbearing of protection, which may have caused some fear or some other traumas, but
Mhm.
because I did start and we're continuing and we're consistently and
Yeah.
we practice and again and again.
I love how you said consistently.
Oh,
Consistently. And that for many of us can be that challenge of doing it consistently. However, when you self regulate, you see the results, sometimes instantly, sometimes it takes a little bit more time. But you can, if you become the detective of what, of the, well, the shifts that you're seeing, the improvements around you. To be able to get in the car and drive and notice that the trees are blooming, or that the snow is up to your shoulder height, or whatever. We've had a lot of snow here, Christian. and and it's being aware, it's being present. What is the point of being at work when you're at home with the kids? Your mind is going. Is it taking a break from work while you're at home with your loved ones? And pressing pause does not make you do less work or accomplish less. It actually gives your brain a pause. And then when you come back to it, you're like, oh, yeah. And the ideas are super fast. And I challenge those who want to try it to try this, maybe increments of 1 minute, 2 minutes. I was able to stay present for 2 minutes today. That was cool. Okay, then bring it up to 3 minutes once you've consistently done it for 2 minutes.
I want to mention because consistently, see, the thing is that we have to understand is we have been doing things consistently. But remember, as we've said, we've been doing things consistently the way that we were and whatever. So again, so every day you start and you do things consistently.
Hmm.
Well, if you're consistently going in this angle, you're not going to go here. So this is consistency. This is consistency. This is consistency.
Yes.
We have, we are given the ability,
Yes.
as more as we practice, to not just be consistent, because we already know that our brains and our bodies go automatic.
Yes.
You don't, you, next time you, if you drive, you get in the car, next time you get to your end destination and realize, I'm here, because your brain, and especially if you're the music type of person or like to podcast or whatever you do on your drive,
Hmm.
you almost, and that's why you do it, right? You kind of block out that time frame, but you get to your end destination. Now, when you were, let's take a pause, when you were starting to drive and learning to get behind the steering wheel, for those that can remember,
Yeah.
yeah, we're paying attention to everything, and probably with just
Yep.
making Eh, so we know there wasn't automation there. We know that the brain didn't take over. However, I will tell you, the brain did in fact take over if you were, if somebody was yelling, or you were freaking out, and you froze. And so even then, you may have had a good experience learning to drive or a bad experience learning to drive. And that in itself, once again, is just an experience. And
Yes.
people say,
Yes.
so I'm just going to finish up because we are 30
Yep.
seconds into it.
Yep.
It does, whew, this is heavy. This is heavy, and I'm challenging everyone. I'm going to challenge myself. As a matter of fact, nobody. I'm going to
Yes.
challenge myself.
And those who want to follow the challenge are more than welcome. How's that?
There you go. Because when you don't have something in your life, as let's say a present, as a man, or as a, again, human being, if you don't have a mom or a dad present,
Hmm.
how that affects you
Yeah.
and how that can impact you.
Hmm.
Now, you will learn, or you can learn
Yeah.
that you can either take that as an positive experience, and even though the stuff that has been, that you've been through, and the things that I, again, this is me, and
Hmm.
say, I chose to not pay attention, even with the parent or the parents or the man that was in my life. And I choose now to correct some things, and I no longer associate or align with old traits that were taught to me, because that is no longer how I want the energy or the practice or the emotions or the sayings that I want to share with the world,
Mhm.
with my partner, with my family, and with my kids. Because now I've realized that what someone says can impact, especially a young in a young mind that is forming. And as you are that parent figure, that
Mhm.
trust, that
Mhm.
comfort,
Yeah.
that love,
Yeah.
they're going to lean on you more.
Yes. And when they lean on us and we're present, centered, grounded in the moment, we can be there fully to hear them, to acknowledge them, to do our best to understand them and what they're trying to share. So, thank you so much, Christian, and using the Snap Taps app to develop that flexibility, the ABCs of the Snap Taps app, to develop that flexibility, I believe will greatly help you. Give it a go, try it out. And tomorrow we get to continue with our next episode. Oh, celebrate the joy of being adaptable. Woohoo! So that's what we're going to look at tomorrow. And I wish you a great end of day. And I'll see you at 1 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow, Friday. And just keep doing your best. Self regulate, calm that amygdala down so that you can be present in the moment with yourself first and then with your loved ones. Take care, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. And at the top corner, you can use that QR code